Toulouse and Oldham was postponed.
I suppose we can say cancelled now because they're never going to recapture all these Toulouse games where the part-time teams can't go over. And weird season for Toulouse, but they sit at the top alongside Featherstone, still having 100% records. Bradford in third are on 72%, with Halifax up to fourth on 66%, just ahead of Batley on 63% and London on 62%. There is a gap back to Widnes on 45%, then Newcastle and Dewsbury on 40%, above Sheffield and Whitehaven 37%. Sheffield love a fucking draw this year. 3 draws, that is. York are on 33%, ahead of Oldham on 18%. Swinton stay bottom, and unfortunately for them, without a win. Did you see, after Toulouse are still top of the table because of their record, puts them at the top of the table, I saw some comments that our friend Neil, who's been fired up this week with us, he's been fired up this week on Facebook as well. Someone had commented saying that the RFL are doing everything they can to get Toulouse promoted. How are they top of the table, etc., etc. And
there's a conspiracy theory here, is there?
And Neil replied quite rightly to say if they wanted him in Super League, they just would have promoted him ahead of Lee.
Yeah, why not?
If they wanted that so much, that's what they would have done. Because some people just are so one-eyed in their thought processes that they don't engage any sense of reality. I mean, we're all one-eyed as fans to an extent, but I like to think we entertain the notion of balance in our thought processes on SLP, even if we don't always quite follow through with that entertaining.
Sometimes, Mark. Sometimes. In League One, Round 9, it was Workington 66, West Wales 0. North Wales 34, Keighley 28. That's a good win. Barrow 31, Doncaster 6. Coventry 46, Hunslet 44. We mentioned that earlier in the show. Great win for Coventry. Rochdale 22, London Scholars 4.
Yeah, 2 real headline wins there, weren't there? North Wales and Coventry, both over traditional heartland clubs. I think this is what we want to see in League One to an extent, isn't it? The expansion clubs starting to get over the heartland clubs. In the standings, Barrow are top with 94%, with Workington second on 83% and Doncaster on 72%. They're the cream of the crop in this division. Then there's a gap back to Keighley and Hunslet on 50%. Rochdale and North Wales have 44% and Coventry 37%. Scholars have 22%. Then West Wales are, of course, winless at the bottom. That's the only way they know how to be.
And should we move on to the NRL?
Let's do it.
The Roosters versus the Storm. It was Roosters 0, Storm 46, and we have a comment on this, Mark.
Yeah, EFC78JU said, that was some game to watch in the NRL. Melbourne Storm deserved it more out there in Newcastle today against the defending champion Sydney Roosters. They are putting the champions-elect performance today against a team that would have won it back times. I'm saying champions-elect about the Storm team because they really want to reclaim that trophy, but first they have to go and get a grand final spot and win it. I mean, they're looking strong, aren't they? Smashing the Roosters.
Can't argue with that. It was Warriors 18, Dragons 19, Panthers 13.
Well, that's the kind of result you want to celebrate, isn't it? A 1-point win. Party time.
Absolutely. Indeed. With a party. Panthers 13, Eels 12, and we had a comment on this from Mark Butler,
who said, an arm wrestle with a dramatic conclusion. Penrith got away with a sloppy first half display, inviting pressure from their own mistakes, but somehow went into the break up by 2. While the scores remained tight throughout, Penrith gradually built the pressure and won it with a drop goal, sort of, as there was still time to concede a kickable penalty on the buzzer. It went wide. Drama. Where's NRL review, David?
That's a good question.
NRL review could have had a proper good one on that one. Anyway.
Proper good one on that one. The Bulldogs got absolutely smashed 66-0 by the Sea Eagles, and still Thompson had 125 metres for the Bulldogs. I wonder if he's regretting yet this, but anyway, never mind. Raiders 6, Titans 44. And on Britwatch, Sutton had 132 metres, Hodgson 43 tackles, and Whitehead also played.
Blame great
win for the
result.
Titans.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Blame George Williams for that result. It's all his fault.
There we are. There we are. Blame George for that. It was the Knights 38, the Cowboys 0. Young scored 2 tries, 2 try assists, and 204 metres. Bloody hell, that's good.
I know he's been named in the Jamaica hypothetical squad for the World Cup, assuming it goes ahead. It's going to have to be in the conversation for England with this sort of form. Is now demanding a place in that side. Excellent stuff from the youngster.
Yeah, really good. Really good performance. Broncos 26, Sharks 18, with Farnworth 1 try assist and 157 metres for the Broncos.
It's a good job he's on time for Broncos games, not like he is for Zoom calls, isn't it, really?
Indeed. And West Tigers 22, Rabbitohs 38, and Burgess got 160 metres.
As for the standings, Storm are on top on points difference from the Panthers, both on 28 competition points. Rabbitohs are in third on 26, with Eels fourth on 24. Seagulls and Roosters on 20 points and Dragons on 16. Sharks are eighth, leading the group on 14 points. That includes Knights, Cowboys. Titans, Warriors and Raiders all have 12 points, so that battle for the last playoff spot's going to be tight. West Tigers are on 10, Broncos on 8, and Bulldogs are at bottom on 6. We had a fan viewing on another game as well. I'm guessing this is the women's competition, the women's championship. Widnes versus Stanningley would be my guess, but I'm not entirely sure. And if you're sending us a game that's off the script, remember to tell us the final score. Oh, he has done. He has done. I apologise, Paul. It's in the review. Pop the Viking said, a very close game with Widnes taking the win 8-6. So he's done it exemplary style there. Widnes had a fair share of possession and field position in the first half, but it was 0-0 at the break. A penalty gave Widnes the lead before a great try from Stanningley gave them a 6-2 lead. Widnes hit back for a try under the sticks from close range, and the conversion gave the home team the lead and the win. Great stuff. Thanks for that one, Paul. Right, let's make some guesses. And we're going to make 2 guesses here. 1, what the result will be, and 2, will the game go ahead? Let's do it.
Will it be played?
Right, David. I've not updated it. It's Super League Round 14. Let's not mess around. Friday, 7:45 p.m. on Sky. It's Leeds versus Catalans. Can Leeds cause another upset, or will Catalans' strong form continue?
It's a hell of a question. I am going for Catalan, as much because they've had a bit more rest time than Leeds, as well as them being in great form. But I think it'll be a tight game. I think Catalan by 4.
Yeah, I'll go Catalans by 14, and I'll also go that the game goes ahead. Friday, 7:45, Wakefield versus St Helens is the other offering that our league subscribers, I guess, will get to enjoy, will they?
Yeah, I'll certainly be watching it on my phone, Mark. I'm hoping to have the other game on my iPad in the background so I can keep both going at the same time, double bubbly. We always hate playing up at Wakefield. I love going watching the game up at Wakefield, but we always seem to struggle up there. It's one of those games the week before a cup final. You're never quite sure a player's heart's in it properly, avoiding injury, all that sort of thing. But I can't say my team are going to lose, so I'm going to say Saints by 4.
Yeah, I'll say Saints by 10 because it would have been 20 without the lingering cloud. And again, I'm hopeful that game will go ahead. Actually, we could see the teams for those. Let's not bother. Sunday 3 p.m. Hull FC versus Lee. So this is 2 teams that haven't played for Hull FC haven't played for some time. No one in the right mind is picking Lee to win a game, no matter what the circumstances are. Seeing as they got absolutely dicked against Leeds when we thought they had a chance. So Hull by 20.
Yeah, Hull by more than that. Hull by 30.
Hull KR versus Warrington. Hull KR obviously all excited with the news, and they might this weekend they might actually get a game on for a first time in a while too, which will excite the fan base too. But do you think that home crowd will be enough to put Warrington off from bouncing back?
I think this might actually be a bit closer. Warrington have had quite a few games. Obviously they've just had the loss. And Hull KR at home, and it's always a difficult place to play. Nevertheless, I am going to tip Warrington, but in a tighter game than it otherwise might have been, Warrington by 2.
I'll go Wire by 8. I think Rovers have had a few COVIDs, haven't they, to some key players, and that might mean they need to regain some fitness. Whereas Warrington are still in decent nick despite that Leeds result. Warrington by 8. Sunday 3 p.m. on Sky, Wigan versus Huddersfield. I think if Huddersfield can field a side, which there's nothing to say that they're not going to try to this week, especially with those potential loan signings, then the game will go ahead. This could be Wigan's bounce-back game. Hopefully they don't go into it complacent, looking at what Huddersfield are going to be putting out on the field as well as what they put out on the pitch last time out. Wigan need this win. It's going to be scrappy, and it's going to be a 1-point win from a Sam Powell drop goal.
I am going Wigan comfortably in this. Wigan by 3 scores.
Okay, finally Sunday 3 p.m. Castleford versus Salford. Potentially a significant game for Castleford, given the little prep they've had going into the cup final. Salford will be patched up with all those loan signings we talked about in the news roundup. I can't see anything but a Cass win. I'm going to say Cass by 10.
Yeah, I'm going Cass by 20 in this one.
So we have very boringly gone for the same winners in all of the matches.
Have we? God.
That's just the way it goes sometimes. Games of the week in the other competitions. The Women's Super League, Wigan versus Leeds. Someone's going to lose their 100% record at 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, assuming no COVID outbreaks. That should be an interesting one. Leeds probably have a little bit more than the Wigan side at the moment, but we'll see. Wigan have probably had some tougher games this year, so I'm going to back my girls. Come on.
It should be a good game. I think Leeds will win.
Yeah, it's a shame this isn't going to be the televised game, because on the Monday night is when the televised games are now, and I can't remember who it is. Not those two teams, though. Championship game of the week. Hard to pick one this week, so stumped for London versus York, Sunday at 3 p.m. London need a win, to bounce back under the new regime, and York, really, their season's on the rails at York, and they really need to get on a big, long winning run to find themselves back in playoff contention. It feels like, for me, they're on the outer for sure.
I agree. It seems to have gone off the rails quite badly for York at the moment, and
they've had real problems picking consistent sides with injuries and stuff. But League One game of the week: Hunslet versus North Wales. Can North Wales make it 2 wins against Heartland clubs in a row, or can Hunslet feel reinvigorated after a change of coach?
That'll be an interesting question.
Yeah,
you'd fancy Hunslet at home, I would have thought, but we shall see.
It's certainly got the most intriguing storyline, I think, in League One this week, that game. NRL Brit Picks. Reduced round with Origin 3 being played next Wednesday.
Are they bothering?
Yeah, it's in Newcastle, isn't it? Everything's in Newcastle now, apparently. Sea Eagles versus Raiders Thursday at 10:50. Rabbitohs versus Cowboys Friday at 10:55. And Bulldogs versus Roosters Saturday at 10:35. So unfortunately, no Dom Young show this week. But make sure you get in all your fan views on any of those games that do go ahead for us to talk about on next week's show. Let's move on to the quiz.
So I'm not going to make this as esoteric as last time, Mark.
Landed no.
That isn't the answer to any of the questions. So, as you know, Mark, the last time St Helens won the Challenge Cup was 2008. So it's a hell of a long time ago. So we're desperately hoping that we might be able to return home. It might be coming home. You never know. This year, we certainly hope so.
If it was coming home, wouldn't it be going to Batley?
Oi. No, yeah. Well, they were the first winners.
Yeah.
But
Or maybe, I suppose, Coventry, because they're the closest to where it was made.
yeah, all right. Leave it now. Leave it. Anyway, we hope it'll be coming back to St Helens, but I want you to think back to 2008.